Hello everybody. Welcome to another session of Income Tax Act 1961. In this lecture, we will discuss about partial integration of agriculture income with non-agriculture income. This concept will be applicable for those SSEs who earn agriculture income as well as non-agriculture income. If SSE's agriculture income exceeds 5,000 and non-agriculture income exceeds basic exemption limit, suppose SSE opts for normal provisions, basic exemption limit is 2,50,000. If SSE opts for default regime, 3 lakhs is the basic exemption limit. If SSE earns more than 5,000 as agriculture income, if his non-agriculture income exceeds the basic exemption limit, then he needs to apply this concept, partial integration concept. Okay. Let's see, agriculture income is exempt subject to the conditions mentioned in the definition given under section 2 subsection 1a. We know that agriculture income is exempted from income tax. We already discussed it. What is agriculture? What is non-agriculture? If SSE is doing only agriculture, if any person doing only agriculture, they no need to pay income tax. If SSE is doing agriculture as well as non-agriculture, if agriculture income exceeds 5,000, non-agriculture income exceeds basic exemption limit, which is supposed to not taxable, then he need to opt. He need to follow a procedure laid down by income tax department. Okay, we will see that. However, a method has been laid down to levy tax on agriculture income in an indirect way. This concept is known as partial integration of agriculture income with non-agriculture income. It is applicable to the individuals, HUFs, AOPs, BOIs and artificial judicial persons, two conditions which need to be satisfied for partial integration. Okay, what are the two conditions? What are the two conditions must to satisfy? SSE need to be calculate his tax liability in partial integration concept. Okay. Net agriculture income exceeds 5,000 per annum and non-agriculture income which is exceeds the maximum amount not chargeable to tax. The remaining para is also same thing. Under the default regime, under the different age limits. What is the basic exemption limit they are talking about? Okay. It may be noted that the aggregation provisions do not apply to the company, LLP, firm, cooperative society and local authorities. These aggregation provisions do not apply to the companies and LLP, firm, cooperative society and local authorities. These aggregation provisions are not applicable to these companies and LLPs and cooperative societies. Okay. The object of aggregating the net agriculture income with the non-agriculture income is to be the non-agriculture income at higher rates. Tax the non-agriculture income at higher rates. Mainly, what is the objective of partial integration means tax the agriculture income at as possible as at the less rates. Are you getting the point? Tax the agriculture income at less rates as possible as. But the remaining amount tax it as possible as higher rates. Okay. Let's see what is the process of how to compute the partial integration. In the step 1, the non-agriculture income with the net agriculture income compute tax on the aggregate amount. Both add agriculture income and non-agriculture income. Non-agriculture income and agriculture income. Agriculture income also net agriculture income after deducting the expenses. Okay. On that amount, you need to compute a tax liability. If surcharge is applicable, add the surcharge also. After that, put that as a capital A. Okay. And then after that, step 2, add the net agriculture income and the basic exemption limit available to the SSE. Compute the tax on the aggregate amount. Suppose if SSE opts for a default regime, his basic exemption limit is 3 lakhs. Suppose if SSE opts for normal provisions, his basic exemption limit is 2,50,000. Then, if for example, take SSE out for default regime. Default regime means 3 lakhs is the basic exemption limit. 3 lakhs plus what is the net agriculture income? Both add and compute the tax liability on these two incomes. Okay, basic exemption limit plus net agriculture income. Compute the tax liability on both these incomes. Okay, after it you will get some tax liability. And take that as a B. Okay, deduct A minus B, deduct A minus B, you will get a tax liability. They are saying same like that. Deduct the amount of income tax calculated in step 2 from the income tax calculated in step 1. Okay, step 2 minus step 1 or step 1 minus step 2, you will get some amount that is known as tax. The sum so arrived at shall be increased by surcharge if applicable, reduced by rebate if any, available under section 87A. Thereafter, it would be increased by health and education cess at the rate of 4%. Okay, if you see, generally, after computation of tax liability, if his income exceeds 50 lakhs, if his income exceeds 50 lakhs, he is subjected to surcharge. His tax liability will increase by surcharge. After adding surcharge, he further need to add 4% of education cess. Are you getting? Health and education cess. Then his tax liability will be erased. Okay. Okay, let us get clarity, more clarity with an example. Mr. A resident, has provided the following particulars of his income for the previous year 23-24. Income from the salary, computed means all the standard deductions all are deducted, and final, what is the salary? The SSC earning 4,80,000. What is the taxable salary? The SSC is earning. Okay. Next, income from house property, computed means the process, there is process is there na, gross annual value minus municipal taxes, standard deductions, 24A, 24B. After that, after all that, he get income from house property 2,50,000. Agriculture income from land in Jaipur. Agriculture income, this is not the net agriculture income, just agriculture income. Okay, 4,80,000. And then expenses incurred for the earning agriculture income 1,70,000. You need to deduct 1,70,000 out of 4,80,000, then you will get a net agriculture income. Okay, compute his tax liability for the assessment year 24-25, assuming his age is 45 years, his age is 70 years. If his age is 45 years, if assessee opts for default reason, age is irrelevant. The basic exemption limit is 3 lakhs. If assessee opts for default reason, his age limit is irrelevant. Basic exemption limit is 3 lakhs. If assessee opts for normal provisions, his basic exemption limit is differ based on his age. Like if SSC is below 60 years, then his basic exemption limit is 2,50,000. If SSC is in between 60 and 80, his basic exemption limit is 3 lakhs. And if SSC is above 80 years and his basic exemption limit is 5 lakhs. Okay. Next, we will see computation of tax liability age 45 years. Mr. X for the assessment year under the default tax regime. What is the default tax regime? Default tax regime means the basic exemption limit is 3 lakhs. Okay, irrespective of his age, basic exemption limit is 3 lakhs. Okay. Okay, then look at here. How to compute the partial integration concept? First, we need to find A, and after that we need to find B. We need to deduct A minus B. Then we will get a tax liability. The tax liability will increase it by surcharge if applicable. That surcharge. After that, we need to add 4% health and education cess. Okay. Then, what is the basic conditions? If the partial SSC need to opt partial integration procedure, what are the basic conditions? His agriculture income exceeds 5,000 and non-agriculture income exceeds basic exemption limit, which is not supposed to be taxed. Okay. Then SC, look at here, his income is exceeds basic exemption limit and his agriculture income also exceeds 5,000. Then he need to compute his tax liability on the procedure called partial integration. Okay. For the purpose of the partial integration, tax as Mr. X satisfies both conditions. Net agriculture income exceeds 5,000 and non-agriculture income exceeds the basic exemption limit 3 lakhs. His tax liability is computed as the following manner. How to compute the tax liability? First, add agriculture income plus net agriculture income plus non-agriculture income. We derive some tax liability. After that, basic exemption limit plus net agriculture income. We will derive some tax liability. Deduct A minus B. We will get some tax liability. Such tax liability will be increased by surcharge if applicable plus health and education cess. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Income from salary computed. Okay. No need to done any deductions. Income from house property. This is also computed. We don't need to do deductions to 50,000. Net agriculture income. Net agriculture income means after deducting the expenses, we get 3,10,000. Okay. Okay, then we will get a total. How much we will get? 7,30,000. Okay, 7,30,000 under default reason. Okay, 7,30,000. Okay, step 1. Under the default reason, deductions not available, and under the default reason, 1 minute. Okay, we will compute to total income. What is the tax on total income? What is the tax on total income? 10,40,000. What is the tax amount on 10,40,000? Tax on 10,40,000 is 66,000. How that we arrive? 5% on 3 lakhs plus 10% on 3 lakhs plus 15% on 1,50,000. We got 66,000 as a tax liability. In the step 2, what is the step 2? Basic and essential limit plus net agriculture income. We arrived